Hey guys, welcome to my tips and tricks video. Hopefully this will help out any new players looking to play OmegaStrikers, or any veterans or current players that are looking to get better. I currently sit in the mid diamond elo. I go back and forth between low diamond, mid diamond, and hopefully high diamond. But these tips and tricks have helped me with my climb, and hopefully they can help you too.
Tip number 1, Keybindings.
Okay, so before we go into the gameplay tips and tricks, we're going to be talking about the systems first, mainly the argument between WASD movement and MOBA movement. I believe that WASD is superior. That's because of a concept that I learned when I used to play Fortnite Battle Royale. And this concept was that whatever key bindings you had, you never wanted to impair your movement. So if it came to building, if it came to aiming, if it came to using abilities, if it came to editing, none of it should impair your ability to press WASD. And now I brought this concept over here because the MOBA controls, I also played a lot of League of Legends. I played during season 2 and I play on and off. But the concept here is similar. If you have too much for your right hand, for your mouse to do, you're going to overload it and you're going to make mistakes, right? It's going to lead to user error. You're going to get mad at yourself. But now, if you move your movement keys to your left hand with WASD, if you keep your right hand with striking and aiming your abilities, you're going to have an easier time. There's going to be less room for error, and you're going to be more comfortable with all these tense situations that you may be in. Of course, I don't use my WASD keys only on my left hand. I also use my spacebar for the movement ability, which is also known as the secondary ability. And then on my right hand, I use it to strike, I use it to aim, I use it to use the primary ability and the special ability. I suggest that you give it a shot. I recommend it. WASD is superior because of this. But of course, if you are just more comfortable with MOBA, go ahead and play with MOBA.
Number 2, training.
On to the next tip is to use proper trainings. Meta is meta for a reason. Meta, I believe, is the acronym for most efficient tactical advantage. Now, this could be a rumor, or it could be something that I just read online one day, but it made a lot of sense to me at the time, and it has stuck with me through all these years. So if you're new to OmegaStrikers, or if you're trying to pick up a new character, it's probably better to run the meta trainings until you're comfortable with the game and the character that you're playing. I'm not saying that you'll have to stick with the same trainings throughout the entire time you climb with that character, or entire time you're learning that character, but it'll probably be a lot easier to try other trainings once you are comfortable with that character and see why they utilize these trainings, why they're good with them. On the plus side, it'll help you get familiar with other trainings too when you're playing different characters as well. It'll help you get familiar with all the trainings eventually. Getting familiar with the older trainings is probably going to do you the best so that you can understand what you're going up against and what your trainings can actually do in a game. And eventually when you do become comfortable, you can change your trainings based on how you believe the matchup will go. When I'm facing against brawlers, I use a different training setup than when I'm facing no brawlers. Recently, Unstoppable got a huge buff, and the matchups feel much more different because of how impactful the different trainings can be.
Number 3, striking second.
Okay, so I do have a few tips for performance, and these tips have helped me out a lot. And the first one is going to be striking second. Striking second will allow you to get past other forwards and goalies. I believe that you become comfortable with striking second, you can improve your gameplay with the training crossover, which will allow you to get the core past the enemy forwards much easier and give you more opportunities to score.
Number 4, scoring tips.
Okay, now tips for scoring. Now when it comes to scoring, I believe that there exists 2 types of goals. The stuffing it in type of goal and the finding the sweet spot type of goal. Both are very satisfying to pull off, and they're both very effective once you learn how to do them. Now I believe that every character can perform a sweet spot goal and a stuffing goal.
Number 4.1, mouse placement.
Alright, so for the sweet spot goal, the best tip I can give here is to have proper mouse placement. Now this is a concept that I've taken from my time playing Valorant and other first-person shooters, where crosshair placement is a big thing in those games, and it's the same concept here. But those who utilize the WASD keys can utilize this tip much easier, and it also contributes to why I believe that WASD is superior to MOBA controls. When I'm past the center on the enemy's side of the field, I like to keep my mouse on on a sweet spot that the goalie is not standing in, so that when I do make contact with the core, it goes straight to the sweet spot so that I don't have any more work to do. I just have to make sure I strike second and it'll go straight to the sweet spot. This method probably will get the most value in lower elo, as the goalies typically do not expect it to happen. This type of goal is very effective, but it might take a lot of time to get down correctly.
Number 4.2, follow-up.
Stuffing is following up a shot at the goal with another strike or ability. This is the flashier of the two goals and can be much easier to perform, especially if you play strikers that have the proper tools such as Amy or Estelle. Being able to follow up your strike with an ability will allow you to bypass the goalie's received strike and allow you to score right past them. This method is seen the most in lower elo, as the goalies typically do not expect it. The sequence could look like this: you strike first, the goalie strikes, then your ability will be the follow-up right after the enemy goalie strikes the core.
Number 5, keep up with levels.
Another gameplay tip I have for you guys is that to make sure you're watching the levels. You want to make sure that you're either on par with the enemy forwards or you're past them. Otherwise, if you are a lower level than them, try to focus on getting your level up by striking the core, getting kills, or obtaining orbs. The more levels you have on the enemy means that you have more stats over them, meaning that you can strike the core harder, you'll have more stagger so that you can tank their shots easier. Now this is very, very, very important for brawlers, and that's because if they have a 3-level lead on an enemy striker, they can kill them right off the bat, and it is pretty insane how snowbally it gets once the brawlers have a 2 to 3 level lead.
Number 6, learning 1, 2, 3 strikers.
The next tip I have for you guys is experience. I believe that learning 3 strikers is a good spot to be in, just in case your striker gets picked by a teammate or gets banned by a teammate or by the enemy team. It will help you familiarize yourself with different trainings, since not all strikers run the same trainings, but also help you familiarize yourself with how those strikers play and what they are capable of when you are facing one. And then this will lead into the next tip, which is limit testing. Limit testing these strikers will also help you in the long run, because you'll be able to know how far you can push your striker and get those goals that are pretty much out of nowhere. It will also allow you to help gauge if you need certain trainings for particular matchups.
Number 7, stay positive.
Alright, and the last tip I have for you guys is keeping a positive attitude, and this one has to be said. I've already started seeing some toxicity in my games during my climb and my unranked games. All the people spamming the Dracar investigator emote against their goalie or against their forwards. They're teammates, right? They're on your team for a reason. You have to win with them, otherwise you're just sabotaging your own team. Keeping a positive attitude with the default thumbs up emote can even go a long way to help rally your teammate and help them continue play at their best. It's much better. It's probably much easier too to just give a thumbs up and continue playing than try to communicate that you hate this person. This is a game. This is for fun. I get that everyone wants to win all the time, but instead of looking to blame someone, you should just try to cover any openings that your team has. And that's all I have for today. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment what you think was most impactful. But also, if you have any other tips or tricks that I may have missed, and I'll consider it for a future video. Thanks for watching. Bye.